right down to it, right in the beginning. I am so gosh darn proud of you guys. Everybody that was there on Tuesday. Bam, I can't stop thinking about it. What did we talk about on Tuesday? We talked about 2x90. Okay, we talked about how we can, for some of us, it might have been the first time we're thinking about this. How can we double our sales? How can we double our income in 90 days? The comments have been great from the people that were on that session, and y'all that were there on Tuesday are going to get a comment from me. For those of you that were not there, welcome aboard. Choo-choo! We're on the 2x90 train. This is the most liberating thing we can do for ourselves, especially if you work for a company. I'm not trying to talk smack about your employer. I am not trying to get you in a funk or get you to want to leave your job. In fact, just the opposite. When you can start working your plan at your job, not your boss's plan, not your manager's plan, not your CEO's plan, things start to get really interesting and they start to get really fun. And by the way, the minute that you start to realize the expectations of a company on moi are always a fraction of what I could do. Companies cannot, by nature, I want to be crystal clear with you, they cannot set expectations on a group of employees that are even close to the bandwidth of what that person can do. Because people, you're pushing me too hard, boss. Right? This isn't professional sports. Okay? So we got, guys, when we can start putting our own expectations on ourselves, when we can start getting creative, whether you're working your own business or you're working for a company, things get really fun. Okay? I want to hear your ideas of anything you guys have implemented in terms of 2x90. I'll give you one that I started doing since Tuesday because the call motivated me so much. We were talking about, hey, how can we get creative, Matt? How can we get out of the box? Team, on how could we, you know what, we got about 90 days here. How could we double our income? I had an epiphany after that session and I was like, you know what? I don't need freaking Doc. I don't know what Doc's last name was. Doc from Back to the Future. I don't need Doc. I don't need a flux capacitor. I don't need a DeLorean or a skateboard to go back in time. And I was so motivated from that call. You know what I did? I went into some old ass. You smell that? Mothballs. Some old ass, stinky ass, funky ass, old leads. I went way back in time. And I used my time travel. Okay? I just pretended like no time had passed. So if I was talking to Rich from Valley a year ago, I just tried making some calls and saying, hey Rich, Matt over here at Easton University, calling to see if it makes sense to get you on the sales coaching. Just pretended like no time had passed. Made 100 of those calls. Most of them were voicemail. Okay? 3 people signed up. Not one of the 3 were like, oh my gosh, yeah, it was a year and a half ago that we talked. They were, oh yeah, I've been meaning to do that. I just didn't remind them that they didn't. Why make them feel bad? And that's just one of a gajillion things that we could do if we start thinking outside of the box. If we get creative, if we lean into this 2x90 stuff, right? There's our normal job, what we're doing. And then there's some creative, cool stuff. I hate that it smells like my grandma's attic. I know, but there's money in there. Call the old leads. There's other things you guys could be doing. Hey, would love to give a talk at your local Chamber of Commerce, at your industry conference. Maybe you guys could give a talk there. Maybe there's a LinkedIn post that you could do that'd be helpful. We talked about this on Tuesday. There's a million things that we could be doing. Does anybody have anything in 2x90 that you're doing, that you're going to start doing? It is possible for us to double our income over the next 90 days. Part of it is just have the right mindset and motivation and hang out like we're hanging out twice a week right now. We can do this. You can do this. I can do this. By the way, if I can do it, you can do it. What do you guys have? What are you working on? What are you going to try?